Hi everyone, welcome back to Amnesia Custom Story. A late night drink, the last sip, and we were just, a whole lot of people came into our dream and stood there and scared us really, really bad, so we're getting out of here. Getting out of here. I was going to say we are still in the dream. Uh-oh. They're everywhere. Where'd the painting go? Okay. I can't open that door at all. No. Okay, my stuff. PT. PT and amnesia. Really? Okay. Ouch, that was the... I'm not gonna look behind me. I have to. So you're gonna jump out at me or come running for me, isn't it? I know it. Look down the ground. Oops. Oh my god. I guess I'll keep going for a little while. It ends. I was like, never gonna end. All those noises are sending chills up my spine. Ow, my face. Ow, my face. Get out of the way. Uh-oh. Blue flame. Shit! What the hell? Doesn't a blue flame mean there's like a witch around? Do any of you remember that Warlock movie? Julian, what was his name? Julian Sands. He was awesome. Shit. Okay. Ow. Burn my face off. Ow, ow, ow. Okay. Hello? Sir? Oh shit, no. 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 Oh my god! Meanies. Mommy! Anna? Mommy? What is that? The heck is that? I can't move or anything. Ow. Dang. Tried to touch the rock, but it was too fast. Oh. It was all a horrible, horrible, horrible nightmare. That couldn't have been a normal nightmare. It felt so real. I need to get a grip. What I experienced was horrible, but it's over. I think today I'll look around the house some more. First, I want to grab my father's journal from my desk. Okay. Journal. Vincent's journal. My name is Vincent Sanders. I am 12 years of age. I'm writing in this journal because my mother believes it would be good for me. She said that normal boys keep diaries. When I corrected her by saying a boy would call it a journal, she corrected the location of my cheek with the back of her hand. Oh, she correct. Did I say what? Back of her hand. Sorry, I was scared. I think she only wants me to write in this so that I don't bother her with my feelings. I have been confined to my room for the heinous action of speaking out of turn. It would appear that I must learn my lesson when my mother and father have their homunculus guests over, I am to play the role of the perfect son. It makes sense, as those are the only times they deign to play the role of the perfect parents. I can hear the arguing downstairs. I suppose that's what happens when you tell your father's boss the things he calls him when he's not there. I was told to stay in this room until morning. I've danced this dance long enough to know that actually means until the guests leave and my father comes in with the bout. I'm going to leave before that happens. I'm on the second floor, so I'll need to find something to tie together and dangle out the window. There's an old crowbar in my desk. I'll need that to pull down the curtains. That will serve as part of my escape ladder. It has been 6 months since my last entry. My grand plan didn't go so well. The last thing I can remember about that night is the makeshift rope ladder snapping and falling to what my naive mind thought was certain death. Instead, I landed in the pool. My father had said for 4 years that he would teach me to swim. Things aren't all bad though. Although the experience itself was horrifying, there were witnesses. Questions were asked. Questions like why a little boy would attempt to flee his home, or why that same boy had so many strange markings on his body. My favourite part was my father screaming at the judge that he would never strike his son. When he pleaded, "Tell him, boy," his tears almost had me convinced. My mother played the part of the innocent, frightened wife very well. She visited me in the hospital every day. She's pretending to have changed. I almost believed she had until she told me, her new boyfriend's arm on her shoulder, that she is sending me off to boarding school. It was hard to hide how relieved I was to be away from her, but I managed. I leave in a week. I can't believe this thing is still here. I kept it hidden behind a plank of wood for fear that one of my parents would see it. Man, I used to try way too hard to sound eloquent. Anyway, boarding school sucked. Funny enough, my parents had actually prepared me for it. Graduation was a few weeks ago. Mum never visited me at school. The only times I got to see her was Christmas and the brief few days between the start of the summer break and when I was shipped off to camp. She looks worse every year. Once my dad's money dried up, the stream of boyfriends stopped and she just spent her time drinking herself to death. She hasn't gotten there yet, but I'm rooting for her. It's lucky that she paid the school tuition in full. I even found out that 2 years ago she attempted to get a refund for the remaining years. I should be looking to go to college right about now, but I have no cash. That's where Uncle Sam comes in. A few years in the army and I get free college. I stopped in to pick up a few of my things. I'd leave them, but I noticed some real estate listings on the kitchen table. By the looks of it, she's trying to figure out how much she could sell the house for. I'd love to see the look on his face when my father gets out of jail in a few years and finds his house gone. But hopefully I'll be on the other side of the planet by then. You know what? I'm thinking I'm going to take this journal with me. Nobody can figure out why I'm handling boot camp so well. I could tell them about my upbringing and how I've basically been in boot camp since I was an infant, but I'll just let them keep thinking I'm He-Man. I had to stand outside all night because I laughed in the drill sergeant's face. When he asked me what was so funny, I told him nothing. In truth, I was laughing because I know how tame he was in comparison to that guy from the new Kubrick film I saw before joining up. I figured it would be a good last movie to see before enlisting, that it would prepare me. And now I've got water in my ears from standing in the rain all night. At the last minute, I begged him not to make me do it. I pleaded with him. When I told him that I'm afraid of water, he laughed and told me to call it immersion therapy. I take it back. The guy from the movie is nicer. Looks like I'm going to South America. In the words of my esteemed officer, I'll be doing what the army does when there aren't any good damn wars to fight. Sissy pansy humanitarian efforts. Not even sure why they gave you a gun, boy. Should just send you off with a box of tampons and a dress. I told him I wished I'd been born early enough to use my rifle on those damn gooks in Vietnam. I fucking hate racist bigots, but I've been here long enough to learn how to play these fuckers like a fiddle. His twisted sense of camaraderie scored me some extra rations. I really don't care where they send me, as long as that tuition check clears once I'm done. Haven't had much time to write, been going from village to village. Half my time is spent helping people, the other half threatening the small rebel forces. I wouldn't even call them rebels, just kids with a bad upbringing trying to find a purpose in life. I should know, that's exactly what I am. Damn it! I was so close. I almost got out with some of the best shit I've ever smoked, and in the end I only got a 30-minute speech about not being allowed to bring anything back with us. I'm gonna come back here someday. That stuff may not have done what they said it would do, but it was good. Then again, I can't think of any dead people I'd want to reach, so who knows. I am the luckiest person alive. I have to slow down. Okay, it's finally... so I finally get back to stateside. I'm heading home to say goodbye to my mother before going off to college. For all she'd done, I figured she at least deserved a goodbye. I never could have expected what I found. There was a family in the house that I didn't recognise. When I inquired about my mother, they told me I should talk to the police. So I head to the station, and after some confusion about who I am, I find out that 2 years after I left for the army, my mother sold the house. When my father got released and found out, he first attacked the people who'd bought it. Then he hunted down my mother. He found my mum at a 5-star hotel getting a pedicure and making flight plans over the phone for her upcoming vacation in Hawaii. Now he's back in jail for aggravated assault, attempted murder and destruction of public property. My mother is in jail as well for lying about owning the house she sold, as well as several drug charges for stuff that was found in her car. Now here is the best part. Since my father is in for life and my mother never technically owned the house, everything defaults to me. I was given a choice. I can either legally evict the people who bought the house or just keep what my mother was paid for it, minus what she spent on drugs, since that's now evidence and I have no claim to it. I now have 225 grand on top of the money the army has given me for college. I need to take a little time off to think. I start college tomorrow. Blowing through $30,000 was fun, but I think it's time to get serious about my life. I'm not much a religious man, but I do consider what has happened a gift. I'll not waste it. Anna. She says her name is Anna. We met while waiting for the bus. She is an angel. I don't want to sound like one of those sappy movies, but when I'm with her I forget all about my childhood. I haven't told her about that. I don't know if I ever can. The past is in the past, and now I'm looking at a future with this wonderful woman. I haven't told her about the money I have. My mother was only with my father because he was rich. But Anna would never do that. Maybe I should tell her. She was crying. She found my journal in my footlocker. She said she was sorry for reading it. I could tell that she was really saying what she was really saying. She was sorry for what? Hang on. I could tell that she was really saying she was sorry for what she had found in it. I raised my voice. I just wanted to know why she was going through my stuff. The look on her face when I yelled. For a moment I was 12 years old again, watching my father yell at my mother. My God, how much of the mother I knew was because of him. I will never yell at her again. I will not become my father. She was holding a card in her hand. A Valentine card. She was going to hide it under one of my pairs of underwear. She knew I dated my underwear and cycled them in and out on the same days. An old habit from the military. And I was going to hide it under the ones I'd wear on that day. We held each other. She kept apologising. At first for reading my journal. Then she apologised for every time she'd asked about my youth. Anna is not dumb. She noticed how I refused every drink of alcohol ever offered to me. Though we have not been intimate, she's noticed the marks on my lower back whenever my shirt was off. She's a damn calculus major, for fuck's sake. She can put two and two together. When she looked me in my eyes that night on the floor by my footlocker, a journal full of pain at her side, she told me, "You are not your father." I asked her to marry me immediately. She said yes. Everything has been moving so fast lately. Anna and I finished our final 2 years of college. Graduation is in a week, and the wedding is 2 weeks after that. We've picked out a house, 2 stories and a nice cellar. No electricity, but we'll get that sorted out eventually. Something about the wiring being so old it's too dangerous to turn anything on. At least the water works. A lot has changed since I last wrote on these pages. I started drinking. Haha, did I scare you, journal? No, I'm drinking wine. According to Anna, you get all the joys of drinking without being trailer trash. Seems like I have a knack for it too. I do tastings once a month and they love me there. I think I'll use part of that cellar for this small collection I've been building. Anna says I should start writing in here again. When I started to rip out the early pages, she stopped me. She's right, I can't run from the past. Looks like I have a quota. Anna told me that if I don't write at least once a week, she'll cut me off. I don't know if she was talking about my wine or sex. Either way, consider this my return to the world of telling my most intimate secrets to a glorified notebook. Psst, I'm actually a Martian. Don't tell anyone. No, wait, I'm a secret agent who has teamed up with a Martian after his homeworld was ravaged by another race of aliens who now have their sights set on Earth. Heh, that would make a cool movie. Vincent, when I told you to write in here, I didn't mean act silly. This is not a place to make jokes, and I was talking about sex. P.S. I would so watch that movie. This is wonderful! Anna is going to have a baby. This is my chance to show the world what a good father is like. This is going to be the most spoilt kid in the world. I have my reservations about whether I can be a good parent, but I think that as long as I have Anna by my side, I can do anything. No matter how many times I read this, I'm sorry, Dad, the rest of the pages seem to be ripped out. Maybe I can find them somewhere around the house. Come to think of it, I seem to remember seeing some scraps here and there. Didn't realise they were from this journal at the time, though. I'll make a note of where I saw them. I think that's what it said. Is there one in here? Under here? No. Alright. Goodbye, room. I'll just have a... Alright, well... So we're just sort of looking for pages now, are we? That was a really cool story, actually. I like the way it was written. That was fun. Fun to read. Oh, here's one. Torn out page. The therapist that comes to my house once a month is suggested I write my thoughts down. Took me a little while to dig out this journal. The crack doesn't seem to realise that with my money, seeing a therapist isn't a sign of believing in his particular brand of bullshit. It is simply the same level of morbid freak curiosity that would lead one to see a donkey show. I guess that writing in this thing once in a while couldn't hurt. What can I update it with? Well, I've turned my wine passion, obsession really, into a lucrative business. I don't really need the money, but at least it keeps me busy. It's funny, I took up wine tasting in college to meet girls and found I liked it. I bet my father and I couldn't have... la 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 la. Door leads to the backyard balcony. I'll get around to repairing it later. Huh. Okay. It's a new door. Doesn't make a noise. Cool. Okay, flush the loo. Ooh, found one! Rage. It is the most ugly thing on this planet. I grew up on the receiving end of that hideousness. I can't let that happen to my child. I have to send him somewhere. I love him. I don't blame him for her death. But when I look at him, he has her eyes. Forgive me, Anna. He'll be better off without me. I hated that orphanage, but I wonder if I was better off. Maybe if we'd had each other, my father wouldn't have slipped so far. Maybe. Door is locked. Another one. I found this cursed thing while sitting in the bedroom on the floor next to the spilled wine bottle. I'm not even sure why I'm bothered to write in it. She's gone. The doctor gave me a bunch of horseshit excuses for why he couldn't save her. For why she would die giving birth to a child in this day and age. I'd have his fucking head for my trophy case if it weren't for him. My child, Michael. I've named him Michael. Anna and I said that if it were a girl, she'd get to name it. If it were a boy, I'd get to name it. The devil is taunting me. The wine I spilled as I reached for this stupid book has made its way next to the wine I dropped in surprise when I first found out about the pregnancy. It looks almost like a cliche Valentine's Day heart with a crack down the middle, but that isn't what a heart looks like. A heart is a disgusting bloody lump of an organ that can apparently give out without warning during labour. Oh God, Anna, what am I going to do? I'm not sure if I could ever handle a loss that great. No. Are we... floor, but I'm not going to say anything. Okay. Where else? Where else haven't we been? There must be one more somewhere. Is there one? There wasn't one in here, was there? Here it is. This distasteful room of gaudy splendours is where I have entertained guests for the past 13 years. Idiots from around town and people interested in my wine collection. I despise a lot of them. They chortle and guffaw in glee as I play the piano. They ask how I got so good at it. The lie I tell is practice. The truth is I spent 2 years getting lessons in the off time that the instructor could spare when she wasn't helping my father cheat on my mother. I never cared much for this crap myself. My plan is to turn this into a movie room. I'm going to have a huge projector pointed at the wall for movies and video games. Freaking awesome. Okay. Is that it? Okay. Oh, here. About the book collection. Hey Michael, I've made it through the first row of bookshelves as you requested. I put anything I didn't want in my own collection up for sale. I made sure to leave any good horror novels like you asked. There's some good stuff in there, but it's mainly older stuff like Lovecraft or Poe, so you're going to have to look elsewhere to build on your collection of King first editions. Look, I know you think you owe me or some bullshit because I took a few punches for you back in the orphanage, but you don't. I'll be paying you for anything I keep for myself. I hope you don't mind that I've kept working on the collection while you were in the hospital. I figured if you didn't pull through, I knew you would, I'd just use what the book sold for on your funeral. Well, what I had left after the hookers and blow. Joking aside, we actually made a killing. I left your share a bit more than you wanted, and I won't take no for an answer, in the chest by the window. Anyway, I'm heading out of town on business. I'll be back in a few weeks to work on the collection. Take care, man. Roger. Where's my money, Rog? Just as this looks like I've been here before. This part here. This has been in something else. Or I could just use my crowbar. Oh. Maybe I could. Awesome. Money! They say that if you kill yourself, you don't get to go to heaven. I'm not a religious man, but if there is even the slightest chance that a place like this exists, I know Anna is going first class. I once asked my teacher, after one of those stupid PSAs about being there for a friend in need, the one where someone tells that tired story about seeing someone unpacking their locker, asks them to hang out, becomes friends, and later learns they were packing up the stuff because they planned to kill themselves. Anyway, I asked the teacher why stories like that exist, but when someone goes through with a suicide, the grief counsellors always say there's nothing you could have done. The teacher wasn't prepared to answer a question like that. They never are. There was never anyone there to answer my questions either. Lantern's already full. Oh, okay. It's because I haven't really had to use it. Alright, well, I think that's the end of this episode. There was a lot of reading, but like the main story was yeah, that was really cool, actually really good. Interesting, like you kind of, now I feel like I kind of know the people that lived here, you know? That was really awesome. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye!